Today's the last day. How are you feeling? What kind of emotions are running through your mind?
It's hard to imagine that this time tomorrow I have no responsibility. It's somewhat bittersweet. It has been an honor of a lifetime to be able to serve as mayor of my city.
You were born here.
I was born in Bluefield.
Oh, that's right.
I was born in Bluefield, but I moved here 52 years ago. I was 16 years old. One of the first encounters that I had in Huntington, I grew up in Athens, West Virginia, only 900 people, and was coming into Huntington, and it's such a big city. and I'm sitting down at the corner of 8th Street and 4th Avenue, sitting on the back seat, looking up at the buildings, casting their shadows on the street, and around 5 p.m., and I thought, this must be what New York City's like. I learned it wasn't.
It wasn't. How old are you?
68 years old.
68? You're just 8 years older than me. I just turned 60.
You're a child.
What do you want to do? You're probably going to take a break and rest, I would imagine.
Well, I've been resting. You know, the gubernatorial campaign just wore me out. You know, just constantly traveling everywhere. I've been catching up on my rest. I'm considering a few things, but everything points in one direction. When I was in private enterprise, selling investments, managing investments, the main thing was what we would do is I found to be successful as long as I'm helping people. If I was chasing the dollar, it was always difficult. But if we were helping people, it was amazing just how prosperous you could be. Well, I've also been prosperous, not financially as mayor, but just by helping people. We've been able to change people's lives. Well, with that, so in answer to your question, I fully expect to do what I was doing while I was running for governor, going around the state, trying to help other communities.
Do you see politics in your future?
That remains to be seen. I see public service in my future. Public service in whatever way, however I might best serve.
Give me back to the first question. Give me some adjective. What are you feeling right now?
It's a combination of excitement. My faith tells me that when one door closes, another opens, and what is about to happen is beyond my expectations, and it will be more exciting than anything I could ever imagine for myself. I've experienced that several times, and it ended up me being the mayor of my city. So in one regard, that excitement is what's driving me, is what I'm expecting. But there is trepidation. For 16 years, the 4 years I was on city council, the 12 years as mayor, I knew the direction that I was going. I was going into familiar territory. I'm not sure just how this is going to culminate, but once again, I do know that I've worked with an awful lot of mayors around the state and around the country, and that we are doing things very unique in Huntington that others have come to see what we're doing. I fully expect that I'll be reaching out to see how I can help.
Kind of like a consultant.
It will likely be a consulting company, if you will. But my wife suggested to me, said, Stephen, all you need to do is just say to people, how can I help? So how can I help? And then we'll find a way forward.
What is the, as you're leaving the city, what is the condition of the city as you see it?
Transformed. When I was running for mayor, people didn't believe. When I was running for mayor in 2012, nobody believed that Huntington could be successful because we were the most obese, most unhealthy, fiscally broke, addicted city, and we're still fighting addiction, as is every other city in the nation. We were fighting homelessness, as is every community in the nation. But we're coming up with solutions that others are starting to follow. In that regard, we have set a foundation for the next 50 years, and I am proud as can be of that, because there's so many things that we have started that in the next 5 to 7 years, you will be seeing things along the Hal Greer Boulevard corridor, down on the other side, the ACF corridor on the other side of Marshall, all the way down through the city. Just also, people will be moving into the city because of the economic opportunities that we have. So I'm very proud that as I'm leaving, we're leaving fiscally sound, we're leaving it aggressive in the way that we create economic opportunity, and prosperity is coming and developing for our citizens. Couldn't be more proud.
But there are a lot of downtown, there are a lot of vacant buildings that are for rent.
Well, maybe 1/5 of the buildings, or we have filled 80% of the buildings, and the ones that are empty, remember 16 years ago, 20 years ago, there was nothing downtown. Nothing downtown. The mayor of Louisville came in a couple of years ago and said, can you name I'm driving by your town, give me a restaurant that I could go. And I said, meet me downtown. And he went walking around in the downtown, and he said, the one thing I'm seeing is that the storefronts are full, but I'm looking and all of the offices above are full. 4th Avenue is the area that needs to be, that is under development right now. That's coming with what's happening down at Hal Greer and 4th Avenue. All of that is coming.
Is that Jerry Abramson?
No, this was Greg Fisher.
Oh, okay.
Greg Fisher became mayor after Abramson.
Yeah, okay. What advice, words of wisdom did you give Mr. Farrell? Or can you say?
I think that's more personal for me to give to him. I have all the faith in the world in his abilities, and certainly his experience is going to add what this city needs right now. If you have two heads that think alike, you can do without one of them. And the beauty of it is that at this point, it is time for somebody else to come in and be able to bring a fresh perspective. And I have absolute confidence in what he will be able to accomplish.
Will he be the same type of mayor that you have been, or will he be different, or does everybody bring their own stuff to the job?
Everybody brings their own stuff to the job. You know, as I said, two heads that think alike, you could do without one of them. You don't. Patrick Farrell is not a Steve Williams, but he does a damn good Patrick Farrell.
Right.
You know, and just in keeping that in mind, he will be himself, and he has all the credentials that are necessary to be able to be a CEO of a $60+ million a year operation.
Over your 3 years, you've had a lot of accomplishments, okay, but I want you to pick out one. What's the one that you're the proudest of?
People believe in Huntington. And it's not just folks in Huntington, but it's also folks around the country and around the state. It was eye-opening for me when I was running for governor. As I was traveling around, I was having people come up to me and talking about how Huntington has transformed itself. That thrilled me. When I was, again, running for mayor in 2012, there was a friend of mine, we were talking about how do we message things, and he said, Steve, my sense is that you are the most optimistic person I have seen in public life. And he said, you need to reflect that. And I said to him, I said, I don't know that people can believe what I see that we can do. And he said, would you want to be a mayor of a city if they couldn't believe that? That opened up the doors for me.
Well,
created freedom for me.
To convince people.
Well, actually what it did is I was able to draw people together and get people to buy into the vision. A mayor's responsibility is to articulate a vision, build consensus towards that vision, and then act on it. And that's what I was able to do.
Now, the other side of this coin, any regrets? I wish this would have gone different. I mean, like policemen, when they retire, they say, well, there's this one cold case that I wish I could have solved. Or...
Well, I'm frustrated that we didn't get the riverfront park redesigned. We're in the midst of it, but I fully expected that to be completed, and it didn't. And that's the one area that just didn't get done. Everything else is either underway or it's just propped up and it's just ready to just take off.
So it's the development of
the riverfront, yeah.
How do you want the people of Huntington to remember? How do you? Today's just not my day. How do you want the people of Huntington to remember you as mayor?
Boy. That was true. The greatest compliment that could ever be made to me as in my time as being mayor is saying that I was trustworthy. They knew I was going to tell the truth. And in the environment in which we are operating politically in this nation, if I hear that people are saying he was compassionate and he was trustworthy, that would make, I'll get choked up on this, make my mom and dad real proud.
Yeah, because you don't find that in the world of politics these days.
It's different than when in the years before I started aspiring to be in public life and observing others, there was a dignity and an integrity that the highest of elected officials held those in place. And the ones who didn't suffered a massive fall as a result of it. I've been determined to make sure that we can serve in a way that individuals can trust what we're saying and also have faith in our vision.
So, what time are you going to get up in the morning?
I still wake up, invariably, still wake up at 4 o'clock. You know, try not to toss and turn. I don't want to wake up anybody else, my wife and the dogs and everything. That's just my routine anymore. Now I'll go on back to sleep, and then at 5:30 I'm up. But at 4 o'clock you can count on it. It's just.
I don't know if is that old age or what, because I mean I used to